This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily asset. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this motel to apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee.
Y no se preocupe, nosotros hablamos español. Go ahead and go to studiosonfourth.com, check out the floor plans that we have available, and submit your information. And just a friendly reminder, we have everything included: sewer, water, trash, electric, utilities, even fiber, high-speed internet. Submit your info, and we'll get back to you. Welcome home. What's going on? We got Blaine. Blaine, I know you usually do these deal webinars. You're on mute, by the way. But decided to come in and share the wealth a little bit. Steal some thunder, you know. You look like you're having way too much fun.
I'm always having fun. Always having fun.
Awesome. Around on the screen. We're getting real fancy with this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and change it to this. Here we go. That's a lot better. We can see each other. So if you are tuning in, if you're on LinkedIn, maybe you're on Facebook, maybe you're on YouTube, wherever you are, let us know in the comments below. Tell us your name. Tell us what you do. Maybe you're a broker, you're an agent, you're an investor. Maybe you're just looking to put some money somewhere. Everybody hopes for that, right? And tell us what market you're in. Tell us what you're doing. We've had people here from Canada, from the other side of the world. A lot of our folks here are in the southern states: Texas, Mississippi, Midwest, Arkansas. A lot of Floridians, a lot of people from Florida, and obviously California and Arizona, where we hail from. Blaine is in Surprise. Beautiful Surprise, and I'm on the other side of the world in the valley, known as Chandler, Arizona. It is myself and two other partners. Blaine is our acquisition executive, and we are Motel to Apartment Conversions. You know, Blaine, you usually run the show on this particular webinar, but today I wanted to kind of Q&A you a little bit, ask you a few questions, and really help our audiences understand what type of deals we're looking for right now. We're in a mad dash to get one more deal acquired before the end of the year. It's a tall order. I hope we get it done. If we don't, it's not the end of the world, but we really want to acquire something before the end of the year. And we're going to discuss what that criteria might look like. If you are not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, please find Motels to Apartments and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can get all the notifications when we do go live. Same with Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. We are your junky, ugly, broken, roach-infested motel hotel buyer. That's us. That's what we do. And we want to share with you a little bit about our buy box. And we're going to do that right now. But maybe before I jump right into it, Blaine, how was your week? How's everything going?
It's going great. I wish it was a little bit cooler. It's still too hot for me, but that's what we get for where we live. Yeah, so we're definitely looking for another deal. We're always looking for opportunities, no matter what. And just a little bit about us. We've been cooking for about 4 years now. We've done a handful of projects. We've got a project that we're probably about 60% through in Brownsville, Texas right now. It's 85 units. And so that's exciting. But as that gets closer to wrapping up, we're looking for our next deal. And so what I like to do is kind of explain what we're looking for and why we're looking for it. Actually, right now, as we're trying to acquire one more deal towards the end of the year, we're actually looking for something that's a little bit smaller, something that's probably 50 units or under, definitely in a Sunbelt state that has, room for kitchenettes, some add value room, preferably something that's not 50s build, maybe 70s build would probably be best. But we would look at anything. And so we're just looking for that different opportunity. We love Sunbelt states. And then the reason is I get this question asked all the time. Well, why don't you look in Pennsylvania, or why don't you look in, New York or whatever? Simple fact is we're familiar with the Sunbelt states. We live in Sunbelt states, and the population direction is going to Sunbelt states. Sunbelt states need housing desperately, and they need affordable housing desperately. They can't build it fast enough. And so this is where we come in. We supply affordable living option. So, or flexible living is what we like to call it. And so that's just where we come in, where we take your above average size hotel room, something that's 250 square feet or bigger, and we upgrade it with a microwave, a refrigerator, maybe a dishwasher if there's enough space, sink, and a cooktop. So somebody can actually live there short term, long term, medium term, or, for as long as they want. But they have the flexibility. And so with the way where the economy is and the way things are going, people like flexible options. And so this is something for someone that's maybe entry level, maybe someone that's new to an area. You've got people that do traveling nurses, there's traveling doctors, traveling different things that people look for. So this is where we come in. Ideally, you can see there, we give you a list of the Sunbelt states. So Texas is one of them. So Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, major metros in Texas. We'll look at maybe secondary metros in Texas, depending on the location, like something in South Texas where we've already done some projects like Brownsville, McAllen area. Definitely open to that just because of the familiarity. And then Arizona, obviously Andrew and I are based in the Phoenix metro area. We know the area really, really well. Phoenix, so Tempe, Chandler, Scottsdale, those suburbs of Phoenix, we're definitely interested in those areas. North Carolina is another great place, very techy, lots of good jobs. So Raleigh, Charlotte, and then Nashville, Tennessee is obviously a very hot market. Talked to several people actually last week in that area. And then Florida, major cities in Florida, Miami, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Jacksonville, and then Columbia and Greenville, South Carolina. And another city I'll add that's not on there in South Carolina is in Charleston, South Carolina. I actually have a nephew that's in the home building business in Charleston, and they can't build them fast enough down there. So that's kind of the location wise. And then as far as, I'll just kind of go through our list, and this is just a general criteria. So this isn't set in stone and concrete, but this is a guideline that I always tell people to go by and go through. And if it checks some of these boxes, send it to us, and we'll evaluate what the property is and if it might be a fit for us. So 80s or newer is what we like. And the reason number one reason for that is a thing called asbestos. So asbestos remediation is a death nail. It can be a death nail to a project. And in older units, you've got also probably plumbing and electrical issues that have to be upgraded.
Unless we get a really good deal, unless the price point,
correct,
accounts for the asbestos remediation.
Correct. So with that being said, yes, we have to adjust for that cost. So if we can adjust for the cost, that's also a deal. It's Andrew actually stole the words right out of my mouth. So, and then a minimum room count, we really, we use 100 as a guideline just because when you're looking at a cost basis for when you're remodeling, the difference between like 75 to 80 units versus 100, the cost basis is pretty close. And so obviously the more units, the more money you make, right? It's just simple math. So that's why we shoot for that. If it's less than that, not a huge deal. We'll definitely take a look at it. Room size, this is a very, very critical part of what we do, is it has to be at least 250 square feet. We've done enough projects to know exactly the square footage and footprint we need to make everything fit in a room, and to be able for it to be functional. And 250 is the absolute minimum. And so if you've got one that's got 2,500 square foot rooms, well, unfortunately, it's probably not going to work for us unless the price is just unbelievable and we can combine rooms, something like that. Then maybe that's something we could look at. And then room type. Obviously, we want a kitchenette in place. If it's there, even if it's an old kitchenette, maybe the kitchenette's been there for 25 years, that's okay, because that means everything's in the wall, the plumbing's in the wall, the electrical's in the wall. It's ready to go. We just have to put new stuff in which that's relatively easy. And then amenities. So obviously we're looking in Sunbelt states. So the number one amenity in Sunbelt states is a pool. I know that sounds crazy, but it just attracts people. Some sort of workout facility is good. Common space area where people can mingle and meet is also a positive. So that's also something that we look for. And then as far as the type of building that we look for, realistically, is probably going to be about 4 stories is probably the height of what we're looking for. Anything bigger than that, you're probably in a very, very dense urban area, and you're going to have to deal with city officials, and it's a very hard navigation at that point. In fact, Andrew and I looked at a property in almost downtown Phoenix a couple of weeks ago, and it was 4 stories, and that was probably the maximum that we would probably look to take on, just because of the logistics of something being bigger than that. And then so market attraction. So what we like to do, and this is what we do when we take a look at different properties, is we like to see these lists of different things in the proximity of what the asset, where the asset is. So we're looking for hospitals. We're looking for universities and colleges, college towns. If you've got something in a college town that it's in a major university, please send it to us, because that definitely would be a fit for what we're looking for. Always looking for shopping and retail. We're looking for medical jobs, things of that nature that would attract people. Also, public transportation is also something that we look at, just because with our niche, we might have people that just don't have the transportation, don't have a car, and so they're going different places depending on the urban environment. So that's something we also look at. And then we look at the major players in the retail world. If there's a Costco, Target, or Walmart nearby, that tells me there's people nearby, because they don't obviously build those facilities and without lots of due diligence and lots of people to be able to shop at their retail location. So, and then one other question I always get is, well, does it have to be performing? Well, here's the reality. If a good performing hospitality asset that's doing really well, number one, it's probably not going to be for sale. Number two, it's not going to come our way, because we're looking for an add value opportunity. So the way it's performing now is not an indicator to us whether it may or may not be a deal. Obviously, if it's performing somewhat, it's actually positive. But if it's not performing, well, there's probably a reason. More than likely, there's deferred maintenance, or the owner's just having issues and having trouble. And that's where we come in. And then the number one thing I probably get asked is, how do we acquire these properties? Well, the number one way we like to acquire properties is for us to be able to do some type of creative option with the seller. I like to call ourselves problem solvers. We want to solve the seller's problem in taking the property off their hands. And that means working with us to create a win-win scenario. And so all of our acquisitions thus far have been on the creative acquisition, whether it's seller financing, whether it's a takeover payment, whether it's some sort of financial creative acquisition. So there's lots of different ways. A wrap financing, that's another option as well. So we're looking for that. And then the reason we are looking at a creative acquisition is because the rates on bank rates for lending right now are extremely high. And really are a deal killer. And then there's lots of factors that go in with bank financing. You have to get the property appraised. You've got to meet certain criterias for a location. There's lots of hoops to jump through for traditional financing. Not that we're against that. If there's an ideal property with an ideal scenario where bank financing fits, we're all ears. But we just know what the financial markets are right now, and they're very treacherous and very difficult to navigate right now just because of the high interest rates. And then when in doubt, send us a deal. If you think it would be a good fit for whatever reason, go ahead and send it to me. My email is scrolling on the bottom here. My phone number is scrolling on the bottom. That's actually my cell phone. You can text me, email me, and the more details I have on a different property, the better. Just because that way I don't have to go back and forth with you on different questions. So the more detail you can give me, the better we can analyze a different deal. So if you're a broker, if you're an agent, if you're an investor, if you're a hotel owner, and you've got a property that you think might be a fit for us, send it over to us. We'll definitely take a look at it. Like Andrew said, we're looking to find a deal by the end of the year, probably something a little bit smaller, but at this point we'll look at anything because we're really striving to get a new deal going here.
Heck yeah. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm going to show some of the types of deals we might be interested in. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah, we can see it.
Sweet. So, you got your mid-century motel, hotel. This would be sweet. But a lot of your older motels, smaller, older hotels, motels, this type of stuff is great. If you take a look here, you obviously see that the bathroom's in the back. We would remove this wall and we would add a kitchen. This is where value is built, where we upgrade the property to be more than just a motel or a hotel. It could be an extended stay, it could be an apartment. We're flexible. With the right zoning, if we're not granted the right zoning, we can still operate. We're operators of both. We can do both. But these are the types of deals we're looking for. And they need to be in markets that are considerably growing, markets that are actually seeing growth, that are seeing promising industries move in. 50 units or under is fine. 100 units or under is fine. Nothing above 100. In growing conservative southern markets. If you have a deal in Arizona, please send it. I want an Arizona deal so bad. Large or small, we'll look at it. We are focused on a very fast closing from a 50 unit or less. Just a lot easier to raise capital for. But we are looking right now avidly for deals in the Texas and Arizona markets, but we're open to other states. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's great seeing everyone. Hey, my phone number's at the bottom. My email's at the bottom. Please reach out if you've got anything that might be a fit. We'll definitely like to talk with you and see if we can't work together.
Right on. And we are here every single week on Tuesday and Thursday. Thursday, we discuss investment opportunities. Every Tuesday, we talk about the types of deals we're looking for. Send them to Blaine. Blaine is the guy. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, guys.